chat box. Chat, what up? It has been a hot ass minute. I think we chatted Monday, Tuesday. Monday, I think we ended up saying we had gotten some good trades. Yeah, I was pretty busy. I was going to the gym, coming home late from the gym. Yeah, so it's been a week. Just came back from the range. So we're gonna do the stream with the glasses on today. We hit today. Alright. So we're gonna go over our trades. We had a couple great trades this week. We're gonna look at just the major ones, kind of where my head was at. We'll see which one was like our biggest profit days. I think today was our biggest profit day for sure, 100%. But we're gonna kind of explain what we were thinking with the other stuff. Yeah, here we go. So we are currently in the green for the week. Our total equity, as you can see, is 51.1K. Again, we had a really good week. We're gonna look at we're gonna see the whole week actually. This week. Yeah. We're gonna go to this whole week. This is where we land. At a total of 31 trades. For a total of 1,200 profit, I guess. We had a total loss of 250. We were pretty on point this week. You know, I'm trying to get paid out, just as you guys are gonna be, and I just want to do this the quickest way possible without not. You guys have to be on top of it. You guys gotta look. You guys gotta make sure you know your zones. That's literally all I've been doing. I've been looking at my zones. I'm not doing nothing crazy. Looking at my zones, taking them, putting alerts first. All right, cool. It sounds. If I don't like the way the indicator is showing, then I'm definitely getting out. But for the most part, we had a really good week. All right, so we're gonna take a look at our biggest days. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we're gonna go just right off the bat based on days. So we traded the 23rd, and they made $3 there. Nothing crazy. We're also gonna look at what we were trading. Put it up here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this is being weird. It's like not grabbing. Alright. So again, level was kind of like 24,860-ish in the end. Only made a couple trades here. As you can see, nothing. If we go back to the MNQ and we're looking for 24,813, and that was on Monday the 23rd. So where's Monday the 23rd? Oh, look at that. Oh. Sometimes, you know, I really amaze myself. We talked last week. We said up, down, maybe. And look what happened. You can kind of say you topped off a little bit here, went back down. For the most part, good. I think it still looks good. I think it could still break up. But we're gonna take a look at just the 23rd, and we're gonna look at the level we were looking at. So what did I say? 24,860. 24,860 is right here. And we're gonna make this obnoxiously crazy. So here on the 4 hour, what I was thinking, I was like, all right, we got the man. On the 23rd, precisely, it bounced down, and I think these are the little trades that I was getting. So a couple dollars here, a couple dollars here, because I was going to the upside. I'm like, man, it doesn't really look too good. It could probably break back down, and look what happened. It did break back down. I'm actually glad that I did take my little couple profits right here on the 23rd. You know, it might not be much, but I knew, I was like, man, it could just go back down. Let me just chill, I'll wait. So then what was our next trade on the MNQ? Where we at? We went back in at 25,192 because it didn't really do anything for a couple days. I didn't like it. I technically didn't even trade Wednesday. I didn't really... Had some other personal stuff. I just didn't really like the levels, and then we were already at 25. So here you could have just said, all right, we got a little bit of a zone down here. We got in at, what did I say? 25, 192 and 21. All right, 25, 192. We had a profit of 165, and then 155. We had a profit of 165 also for 5 contracts done. We're gonna go in we're gonna dig deeper right here. So this was at 8 in the morning. So I woke up, looked at the market. I was like, all right, cool. 25, 192. We're gonna switch this back up to 25, 192. I was like, all right, we got a little bit of a momentum here. MQ was a 26. So I was like, all right, cool. We have some support back here. You can take this as support because obviously you're breaking back down. You broke above it. And then you're trying to just either get into the zone here or drop back down to find some more support, which is right here. So I really felt that if you broke down, you were either going to take a bounce or you were going to come back up. I think we took a short, if I remember correctly. No, here we took a 25 to 4. Yeah, so we were back up here. Yeah. So somewhere in here, I think it was on the 5 minute maybe. Why does that make sense? 26 at 8. This was 8. 25, 274. Where did we take this trip? Oh, I know where. It was quick. Yeah, 16 minutes. Yeah, I remember this one. This was 16 minutes. So we're gonna look at the 15-minute candle. That's right. Now I'm starting to remember. All right. It broke them down. I remember. I was like watching it. I'm like, it broke down, and I'm like, oh man, this is kind of getting good to the supply. So it broke supply, and I'm like, all right, I took the bounce here, and then it shot back up, and then I exited. It was like 15 minutes. I wasn't in it. But I was like, all right, you have to have a bounce back up at some point, and it did. It bounced up. It was trying to break back up, and that's what happened. And then the next one that I took was the MNQ 155 5 contract. So I'm gonna switch this back down to 25 155. Here at, what time was this? 25,155 at 9:06 in the morning. So somewhere there. That's this candle. And I took it for like 6 seconds because I was already at the bottom. I was like, all right, cool. So where are we? All right, 25,155, 25,171. So it was just a quick little bounce to here. And the reason why is because we had this big green candle, and that's all I was basing it on. I'm like, all right, you can just hit me in here, and you take me for 5 contracts just as, I think it was like right there, 177, 171. So close. But anyways, like I said, I was just watching it, and I was just trying to get pips. That's all I was doing. And I'm like, if you look at the 1 minute, this kind of where it gets a little crazy. Because here, you see that it bounced. So we took the trade, and we were going down. It went down, and I was like, oh shit, but it formed a candle, and it went back up, and I was already in profit for 165, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just exit. Let me exit. I'm out. There's no reason to. Why? For what? Let's not gamble. Let's just hop out. So that was a good trade day. Nothing crazy. Let me see. We have 1 for 118. That took about 2 hours. 3 contracts. I've been mostly doing like nighttime trades, as you can see. This one was actually during the day because I think I was on lunch or something. I went to go get lunch, and then I was like, all right, cool. Well, I just left it on. So we'll look at this one. So this is the Dow 48742, and I'm showing you the chart that I have for you guys. I'm gonna show you that my chart in a few. Here, pretty self-explanatory. Box. When did I say this one was on the 27th? That was today? Oh yeah, that was today. Yeah, that was today. 11:30 to about like 2 o'clock. With the trade here, because I'm always trying to take trades at bigger time frame candles and then big supplies. So like here, I'm like, all right, cool. If I get anywhere down here and I watch it, I'm gonna want to get out there, and it leaves me a good amount for me to just try and get in and be out. So here we're getting 1.8. We took a 1.8, but ideally, okay. You can see right here, we hit it. This had like no drawdown because I was like, all right, perfect. I wasn't even looking at the one minute. I was mostly looking at the 1 hour. So I put the entry. Cool. Grabbed it. Came up. Closed out. Done. $100, $120. Because again, there's no point to be going all crazy. Took a couple for $50. You know, as long as you're watching it and you feel comfortable. We're gonna go to the biggest trade of today, which was back at the MNQ. MNQ on the 8 minute. We're gonna look at what we were. Where did we enter? 24,907. Again, we took this trade at. Took this trade at 2. Toward the end of the day. O'clock. Somewhere there. We're not gonna go all crazy. The idea was, because I remember I did have some drawdown here. My idea was use this as support back here. Great. Up, down, up, down, up. And I'm like, alright, this should again serve as a base. So I got in here, I believe. Well, I got in here, and it was just very choppy, and then it rated up, exited out, made the trade for about 400. Mostly because I used a lot of contracts, because I was pretty certain. I'm like, all right, you definitely have bottom structure. The MACD was also in my favor when I was using it. So I was like, all right, cool. As I told you guys, the MACD in the middle, or going toward the middle, I always feel like once we cross this middle point, we're going up, So if I look at it like this, I'm trying to take the trade on today. We're looking at the last couple days. The MACD is telling me, all right, cool, went down. We hit a bottom, very bottom, because you're all the way at the bottom. It's probably your lowest bottom, your most recent lowest bottom. Look at that. Your next lowest bottom is all the way back in February 12th. So I was like, all right, cool. That's a pretty good indicator that this is kind of like bottoming out at some point. You went up, try to stay above it. Nope. All right, cool. Went back down. You're curving here. Again, I didn't want to take the trade because I still think this is very choppy when it's like this, because you're not going up or down. So I wanted to make sure that we had some momentum from the bottom structure up, and then you had to get the second touch. I love something like this. Okay, now you can clearly see that. I was like, all right, perfect. Up. Cool. So let's just put our stop loss loops again super close. We ended up, where did we get? 24,907. So entry, and then we exited out 24,974. And this one we were in here for 18 minutes. So when you go and look at the 1 minute, this is what we were trading. One touch. I wanted to say this was the second touch, third touch, fourth touch. Back up. This kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders that always breaks to the upside. If it was a inverse head and shoulders, it would be something like this. Excuse me. Let me draw this. So inverse head and shoulders is something like this. So here are your shoulder, this is your head, and you break back down. So I liked it. And we hopped out because I was like, all right, well, 15 minutes ends up being about this many candles. Yeah, did I take the whole move? No. But why would I? The whole point is to just get my profits, get out. My plan is to make 350, anywhere from like 350 to 400 a day, 500 a day, to kind of like just, we need 8 trading days, right? We need 8 trading days. We need to be able to be consistent, and as long as we're winning, who cares? Like, everyone wants the money now. Everyone, even myself. I shouldn't even be talking because I'm a gambler. I love gambling. But we're not trying to gamble here. We're just trying to secure our profits, get out. Let's use what we know. Bottom structures. We're looking at the MACD. We're just trying to creating our own little formula that we need in order to help us reach what we want to reach. And if you look, we started streaming last week, and look at that. We drew this demand zone, and look at how many times you touched it in. If you would have just touched it and gone up and then just taken your trades, you would have had one trade here, another trade here. If you would have just waited, you could have had a third trade here. Like, you're always touching. You're touching. So it's kind of like, all right, you got to use what we know. Cool. Well, what do we know? We know that this is a pretty nice demand zone. What are the 4 hours? Still a nice demand zone. Touch up. Cool. We're going to get rid of this. This is still kind of valid, actually. I think this is still good. I think we're gonna keep this like this. I don't think you've tried to cross, but you failed, so now you're back inside this channel. This is major rejection right here. Rejection. Okay, fine, you pumped up. Cool. What happened afterward? You still rejected. rejected, rejected, rejected. We're talking about all of 2026. This level is like death. You're not crossing over unless you have some really good momentum. Even what happened here. Touched it, down. So, consider this a major resistance level. Huge, huge. What does Don say? Huge. It's been huge. The Dow is over 50,000. Let's sign in so that you guys can see what's going on with the account. I was able to, this should actually be telling us, details. We're going to see all of our trades, as you can see. Trade dates, profits, 672, 355, 892, and $98. Total fills, 29. 29 is the amount of contracts we used today. Let's go back here. Look at today. How many contracts did we use? Well, today we used 58 contracts. I don't know why it's saying 29. I'm wondering if it's taken into account yesterday. But anyways, so I'm gonna go to payout. Not eligible for payout just yet. Guess what? Failed rules. 8 trading days. Well, yeah, we only got the account on Monday. What do we expect? All right. 5 days with $50 profit. Again, we're not even on day 5 yet. Consistency rule of 30%. That means that you can only, if you're going to request a $2,000 payout, you got to have $54,600 in order for you to get that $2,000 payout. Which means that your total profit is $4,600 and 30% is 1.3. Yeah, 1.38. Yeah. All right. So your max trading day can only be 1,380. 4 out of 8 days completed, perfect. Needs at least 5 days, cool. Some days exceed 30%. And it took me a little bit to realize that this is telling you exactly how you're going, right? So your first day, this is your first day, so your whole trading profit is $98. So the more you trade, the more it goes down. So what happened? All right, 98, 76, and now we're back down to 59.24. I'm assuming by like day 8, we're going to be a little bit more down, which kind of works out. So once we get a couple more trades, I think the plan for me on Monday is going to be another like $600-700 day, probably for that whole week, so that way I can reach my my 2K payout in 10 days essentially. If it's not, I'm gonna just do it so that way you guys can see, like, you can, if you actively trade for 8 days and you're in profit for 8 days, that you can cash out in 8 days. So whatever I end up cashing out on the 8th day, then that's what we'll cash out. And then the next account, because I am gonna be rolling into a second account. The second account is just gonna be another. So my buddy says that he'll do it if I do it again. So I was like, all right, well, I can do up to 20 accounts. So I'm just gonna do it because why not? I mean, if I'm gonna take out the payout, spend another, $100 or $200 to, it's gonna cover my first it's gonna cover my first account, cool, and I already have money for the second account, and then essentially in another 10 days or 18 days from today, I'm gonna give myself eight extra days. So around mid-March, we should already have our second account, and we should already be getting paid out close to like $4,000 for the month. It's perfect, because hey, who doesn't want $4,000 a month? Just from clicking buttons. All right. yeah, so again, our goal is 2,600. Our highest trading days 6,672. The plan for next week is we're going to take a look at the weekly. I'm gonna show you guys my chart because I actually fixed my chart to this is my chart. Yeah, this is my chart. I fixed my chart from like all of the months essentially to kind of just give my, well, for me, I like to go through all the time frames. We can adjust this a little bit. So here, I think we're still doing the highs. We're going to do high to high. So in my sense, I think I'm still bearish. I still want to say I'm bearish. I'm not really that bullish. Again, this is the Dow. So here, I'm going to change this after. From the day, I go to the 12-hour. Cool, how does the 12-hour look? 12-hour doesn't look that bad. That becomes our new thing. Here you can change this because I would want to do last support. I'm going to bring this up. Touches the high of February 23rd, and then you got rejected. So this kind of still looks like a valid thing. If we look here, we're back in February. This level was very used as support. February 2nd, February 5th, February 5th again. Came back down February 23rd, came back down February 23rd, 24th. And again, you're staying above it, which is the best part. That's what you want to do. You see these little gaps, that means that you're hitting it and you're going back up and you're staying above it. So I like that. You're above here now, and then this for the 12 hours. You're trying to stay above it. It closed low, but you're trying to stay above it. Let's go to 4 hour. 4 hour, I think this is again a good accumulation zone. This little red box anywhere. If you were to get anywhere in there, I'm buying here, I'm buying there. So the levels that we're going to try and attack next week are going to be definitely this February 855 and February's 863 or 633. That leads back to to January 5th. Because I mean, we're close. I would love for it to just touch and then break back to the upside on the 4 hour, but you still look kind of bearish on the 4 hour. You try to go up on the MACD and then you're failing. So I would look for something again. Try and accumulate before, so that way you can, when you draw something, you can say like, oh, this is, you're gonna do this for the last one, so the last low, you're breaking below it. Not a good sign. I think that's bearish. I think that's very bearish. Horrible. Too separated, to be honest with you. Here, this is too separated for me. I don't like that. I'm looking to attack this level here. Let me sign in chat. I want to just be able to give you guys an idea of what I'm going to be looking for to trade. We're not going to... That's going to be where I'm going to want to 1-to-1 and do that. And do 1-to-1 to the last January high close, or I could do this and then end up at the November. That's going to be the level of attack. I want to see us hit and then scroll back up. We want to start to get above this channel, or if in the worst case that we are still bearish, I would take a short. But look at here, we got 287 to the upside. If you want to just hold it for a couple more days, hey, look at that. It's a $500 trade, $600 trade. Who cares? Bam, in, out, be done. The goal again, because once you, all right, so this is a 4 hour. We're actively trading every single day. Look how many times this touches. So we're here. We're gonna touch here. All right, cool. You went up. You can close. That's 150 bucks. Again, here. You know this is a great buy zone. Guess what? Buy, attack, out. All right. Well, here you dump down a little bit, and this is gonna be our last forward close. Cool. Bam. Bounced up. Attack here. Up. Touched here again. Up. So the money's there. The money's there. You just have to find your attack zones. So what did I say? All right. So this is for the down. That's how we're gonna leave the down. And this is what I'm planning on doing. Let's go back to. Yeah. Look at that. Broke. Fail. Beautiful. Beautiful trade. You're still within the channel. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I don't know why. Oh, this is for this level. That's this level. Alright. This guy, the alert is still set, so that way if it hits, cool. We're going to set an alert here. Because we want to be notified whenever it touches the price. I would love to take a trade here. Love to take a trade down here to just here. With low minimal downside. You end up do that exactly. Look at that, 267, 160 to the downside. I would just bring this up a little bit more. I think you got great support. Again, this is all February, so $100 to win 250, great, perfect. How many times can you do that? Can you rinse and repeat? Or are you gonna be crying because it didn't hit your stuff and then now you're out? I'm in queue. I think I drew this because there is a death cross on the cipher, if I remember correctly. Yes. So blue and pink, again, to me that's a death for the short side, which is kind of what happened here. You tried to go up and you couldn't because you're too separated, so you're coming back down. So here, with the indicators, I would love to short from this. This is a beautiful short. Short from 2,500 all the way back down. I would do one, and let's even just to there, and then just create yourself a little bit of a high. You just have to be careful if you're looking at the 1 hour. Make sure that you're not trying to close above it. Is your MACD on its way back up? Yes, it is. So it doesn't look. You have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. That's all. That's all. Our 4 hour range is perfect. If it touches here and then just goes back up, oh, that would be so nice. I don't think you're bullish until you beat this 12-hour cross. If you can beat this 12-hour cross, you're fine. And I don't think you're really that bearish unless you break this major support that leads back to... Man, look at that. You're talking about September 2nd, 2025. You touched again February 5th, and then you went right up, and then you're just way above. So you're breaking here, I'll say you're bearish. You break this, you're bearish. You break this, you're definitely bearish. You're going back down to the demand at 23. So a lot of options, What should I, what's next? How long have I been live for? Man, it's been 30 minutes already. We're just gonna do our favorite asset, and then that's it. Basura. Not a fan. Not a fan. Whew. Yeah, I mean, the short that I made, if you literally just did this where I told you, I was like, all right, cool. I feel like it could just go down. Again, I'm not married to this asset, and that's like the biggest thing you guys have to realize. Do not get married to something unless you're going to hold it for years. You're going to hold it for years, perfect. Hold it for years. But then you can't be complaining that it's up, it's down, it's up, it's down, it's up and down. I'm in here to make some money. I'm in here for in and out. Someone was telling me, would you rather take a 40-day trade 40-day trade, and you know for a fact it'll pay you out $2,000 with no risk. So $100 to pay you $2,000, but it's gonna take you 40 days. It can go up, can go down, can beat your stop loss, whatever. Or now you lost $100. And I'm saying that because that's that leverage, right? So obviously if you're doing leverage and because $100, in order to make $100, you need the asset on the regular market. You need it to go 100%. Things don't do that. They're not going 100%. They're only 5, 10, 15%. So you're gonna try and make. Let me scratch that. You're trying to make 40%, 50% of your money in 40 days. Perfect. Or you can make $100, $100 for 50 days. And you're gonna risk the same amount. What are you taking? I'd rather get paid the $100 every single day. And someone was like, tell me that. They're like, Marco, if someone's waving at you, here's $400. Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Or you want to wait? If you want to wait 40 days, you'll get whatever. And I was like, well, me personally, I take the 400. You're gonna be 400 today? Cool. You know what I could do with those 400? Get another account, start another one, start two. Those two accounts can possibly pay me $4,000. What are we doing? Of course I'm gonna take the money. Why would I have to wait for something that might not be guaranteed rather than someone giving me the $400 today? I might be dead tomorrow. And then who's gonna get the money? The government? I'm straight. So I didn't short this. I did not short this. But I said in my mind I was going to short it. And look what happened. You went pretty far down. We were talking about this last Saturday. Yeah, last Saturday we were talking about this. Cool, you went up a little bit, but you didn't break your 2021 demand. What did I tell you? You need to break this demand. If not, you're popped. This is scaring me right now. 1, 2. And now you're going back down. So you're trying to test this is your range right here, the 2021 range. That's where you're staying. You're staying within this 2021 range. And if we zoom back out a little bit, look how many times, what are we touching? All right, cool. This was a market crash. I remember this. But up, cool. Broke it. All right, you broke back down. Cool. You tried to stay above it. And now you've created your range. Now you went back down. Now you went back up. Now you went back down. Now you went back up. Now you went back down. Now you went back up. Currently, if you don't break this 2021, well, right now we're gonna go to daily, so that way you guys can, this looks way better. Right here, you have to hold the support right here. You have to hold 66,184. If you do not hold this 66,184 line, you are popped, my friend. You break this and you really break, you're gonna have to want to come back down to 61,293, or even to this level right here, which is 62,828. Touch? Yeah, look at that. You would want to touch that again for support. You were still in the bearish control zone on the MACD. You were not happy here. You were not happy. You do not like this trade. You do not like this asset right now. This is not good. Not good. The only good thing that I like is that you're starting to formulate bottom, 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 here to here. At some point, you're gonna go up, peak, up, down, peak, down, and then pop up. Until that starts to happen, I'm still bearish on this. I'm actually still bearish mostly because of the indicators, to be honest with you. The indicator, I'm still too separated from 76,000. I definitely do not see us testing 76,000 anytime soon unless we get some major thing that, Bitcoin's going to be the new asset of the world. I don't see you coming back up to test 94,000. So what does that mean to me? Bearish. We bearish. We bearish. Go to the 1 hour. Super bearish. Again, I don't see you testing 73. I don't see you testing 80. I don't see you testing 89. Until we start to test these levels, you know. But yeah. Expect your range to hit. If you're gonna take a trade on leverage, I don't recommend leverage. You guys don't know what to do. This would be it for me. I'm gonna take a 3-to-1, just to the 68,000 mark. Gonna happen? Great. If it doesn't, I'm gonna leave this like this, just so you guys can see it later. Again, this is your guys' chart either way, so we're actually gonna put this a little bit more up. I don't mind, because if it has a little bit of risk, I just gotta monitor our risk. Alright, one more. Holana. I like Holana. I like it right here. If you stay above $81, I definitely like you to the upside. The only thing is that, again, you're pretty bearish when I think that you're gonna be your main. This is your top right there. Look at that. Down, down. But then again, you got support for the 1 month supply. Touch up, perfect. Let's hope that I can stay above. But if I wanted to take just a trade, just a regular trade, I'm just gonna put my money in here and just let it do whatever it is. I'm gonna risk 20% of my money. So if I'm doing $1,000, I'm gonna risk $200. One sec, guys. My bad. Enjoy the music. My bad, chat. Business. Might be stopping by. So where were we, chat? Yeah. Risking $1,000 to win 30%, so $300. You're gonna wanna risk $200 to make $300. So, well, here you're making like 25%. But if you try and get to the, I'm gonna just try and get a little bit above this little 4 hour. I feel like if you're gonna try and touch this, you're gonna come back down to the 97. But if you're anywhere clear above 100, I think from 100 you can probably go to, if you maintain it, right? Like that's the whole point. You have to maintain it. 140. 140 would be your next target after. And the reason why I didn't put that on there is because to me, the 140 level is just a little bit too much of a in between, right? For me. So when I take a look at a 3-day, my 140 level is here. And as you can see, like there's too many to the downside. Like, all right, cool, it crosses, but then you come back down and come back down and come back down. It's like they're all in between, and I don't like that. I prefer here, because this is like, yeah, but these are the bottom wicks, and then you're closing above them. So here, bottom, cold, bottom up, bottom up, bottom up. So 125 would be a safer target, which ends up being 63%. So you're going to be making like $600 on your $1,000 trade. But again, if you maintain above 125, then what's your next level? You can go back up all the way to close to like 190, 180. I think 180 is my safer option, I believe. Yeah, like 180-ish, because I think you definitely have to go and like test, you know, pick up some of the major resistances that are there. As you can see here at 180, you're coming back down, you're coming down, you're coming down, you're coming down, and then you're gonna go back to test. So Holana, again, I would go in there for now. It's low risk to me at this level, at the $78 level. If you break it, then yeah, for sure, you're going back down to like 67. But even here, I would probably buy more, simply because this is just a major. For me, I believe it's pretty good at the 1 month supply. So we got a couple months dating back all the way to 2021. And yeah, I really hope this little box forms and it breaks out of this. You see, I wanted to break out of that, but I think it's good levels. So yeah. All right, chat. I'm about to head out. I'm hungry. My bad. I shouldn't have done that. I'm hungry. About to go get me some food. So I will see y'all. Market's closed tomorrow. I guess I'm gonna try and stream. I will make, I guess I'll look at some crypto and stuff. But yeah. Alright guys. Light up.